Hey Sag, how are you doing? Welcome to your general reading for the entire year of 2020. Um, this is for you if you have a Sagittarius moon, sun, rising, um, maybe your Venus, possibly, that's more to do with relationships. This is a general reading. Um, so yeah, I would probably, as a Sagittarius, look to see where Jupiter is. Um, to get more insight into my sun sign and my path in general readings. So, your Jupiter could be in Virgo. You may find that the Virgo reading might shed some more light um, onto your path this year. Okay. Okay, so I can see here straight off that we've got two tens. One ten is the Ten of Cups, and the other is the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords is telling me that 2019 had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of highs and lows, a lot of losses, maybe possibly disappointments. You may have even learned a lot of lessons around people letting you down, betraying you. Um, you may have also learned about some of the limitations that you have and the way that you're thinking about things, your perception, and how that can sometimes um, inflate your sense of perspective or kind of affect it. So the Ten of Swords talks about really coming all the way back to earth, down to earth, and um, really, it's almost like the Serenity Prayer, knowing, being empowered in the knowledge of what you can and cannot change. That's what you're leaving 2019 with, I feel. And even this year, there could be more lessons around that. But the worst will be over, I feel. And hopefully, especially with the Ten of Cups here in your overall lessons that you're learning for the year, that you're actually going through the part of the Ten of Swords experience where the sun does rise, and all is well again. Things start to improve, health starts to improve, overall well-being, family life, and just feeling more nourished and enriched emotionally, being more, bringing in a sense of gratitude for the opportunities that you still have ahead of you, and accepting what is done, accepting what you can no longer affect, what you can and can't change, and not thinking you can do everything. That can be sometimes the over optimism of the Sagittarius, which is amazing on the one hand, but on the other hand, it can only lead to frustration when sometimes our goals are a bit too grand, maybe for the time scale that we have. So yeah, it could be that the Ten of Swords does talk about someone's ego just being brought back down to earth. Now this could be as well as Jupiter moves into Capricorn at the beginning of December 2019. We do have the Capricorn energy here as well, as what you can expect this year is this Capricorn energy of grounding, possibly limitation, but the limitation and Saturn's lessons all serve a lesson, all serve a purpose, to enable you to, again, is the Serenity Prayer, knowing what you can change and what you can't, knowing where your limitations are and seeing where you have full reign. So yeah, especially with the star card here in the near past, or what you're leaving behind is the star card. So again, this maybe inflated sense of, or putting too many eggs in too many different baskets, like spreading yourself too thin in some way, or wanting something very big to happen now. And Jupiter in your sign for the last year could definitely have made you feel very much like anything's possible and very optimistic, even more so than usual. So you could be kind of coming down a little bit from that. And with the Eight of Coins, as you come into the year, taking on, a more practical approach to things, and maybe even having explored all of the cans and can'ts and what you can and can't do, and really kind of feeling around in your world to see where your limitations are, especially around your dreams and goals, you may now be more clear on what it is that you'd really like to work on. So Saturn is bringing in the energy and asking you to, okay, look, okay, so we can't have it all. If you had to choose just three, or if you had to choose just four, or maybe eight kind of overall goals for the year, what would they be? And stick to those things. And I'm seeing 8 here. So one could be about family, one could be about money, one could be about your personal well-being, one could be around exercise, another could be around career, personal development, I don't know, whatever else you have going on. And you may say, okay, these 8 things is what I'm going to focus on. One could be, I'm going to focus on my children's education and put my all into that. That's going to be one of my main focuses. And my other main focus may be to make sure that I sleep, go to bed every day at 10, and that's part of my well-being. So maybe setting certain goals and sticking to those things may bring you more, actually will probably bring you a great amount of success, with Jupiter being in the sign of Saturn of Capricorn. Working at it in that way and really restricting yourself, and you almost in a way transmuting that energy, almost like an alchemist would, transmuting the energy that's been given to you of restriction, and you actually applying the restriction to where you see it's fitting. And that's one way also to kind of to transmute energies that you're working with as well, to kind of work with them, rather than being ignorant to them, I guess, and just kind of being at the mercy of those energies. You can use them to your favor. So that's definitely here for you. There's also a Virgo here strongly. This is the sun in Virgo, so it could be that you're working with Virgos or in a Virgo and kind of organization around health, or maybe there's someone in your life like a mentor or someone like that that's helping you to focus on these things. Maybe a bit of a coach, something like that, that's coming through. The cards aren't specifying that, but that's just what came in. So yeah, it could be something like that, where you're maybe just focusing this year practically on your real true dreams, and not kind of spreading yourself too thin and trying to do too much, and knowing your limitations. Then we've got the Seven of Swords that's crossing you. This is maybe the obstacle that you're kind of coming into the year with. And this could be around being completely honest and open, maybe, and also figuring things out. This card also talks about being one step ahead, sometimes being cleverer than the other person. Can also talk about okay, so the Seven of Swords can talk about a kind of feeling like you don't have, like you may feel someone's taking your power. You may feel like you're not, you may really feel, as Jupiter moves into Saturn, that you feel a bit robbed or something, or you feel a bit you don't really have an edge anymore. Maybe that could be a challenge for you. And it is a massive blessing to be a Sagittarius and to have Jupiter in your sign for a whole year. I'm sure you had a great year. I'm sure you had lots of opportunities to have a great year anyway, and you probably had a lot of expansion, maybe made a lot of new friends, maybe had a lot of new experiences that you never had before. But there definitely was expansion. So to now have it kind of be all pull back, that energy, it may feel that you've been robbed of something. You may feel that way, like you don't have that Jupiter energy anymore, that the potency of it anyway. So yeah, you may feel that way. and you're having to now maybe work a bit harder and a bit more smarter and put a bit more effort in as well, to get the results that you want, that things aren't just really falling in your lap anymore. Or the things that you've acquired you have to work for now, whereas before maybe things maybe just fell into place, or luck just always seemed to be on your side, which is great. However, now it's like, yeah, like I said, you just may feel like, oh, I feel that energy is kind of not around anymore in the same way it was. Yeah, so you may feel a little bit like that, a little bit like you don't have, you may have to work hard to kind of build up the enthusiasm in some way for you. I'm also getting refinement as well, paring back, refining things. So I feel like it could be a good thing for some of you, like really a good thing. Like you might have been quite frustrated with the amount of opportunities or things that are being thrown your way. You may have felt a bit overwhelmed here with the Ten of Swords, like it was all a bit too much, especially if like you're a Sagittarius with like your Jupiter in Capricorn already, or your Jupiter in Virgo or something, in a more kind of earthy energy. You may have felt a bit overwhelmed with that Jupiter energy, all the opportunities and experiences kind of being thrown your way, and maybe your challenge is now to kind of is paring back, is kind of getting away and kind of stepping backward tentatively out of situations that you may have put yourself in, kind of paring yourself back, pulling yourself back, and you may feel like you're escaping certain things or people. So that might be a challenge, actually, just focusing on your work, and again, not without the distractions of people you may feel are unnecessary, and just kind of maybe drain your energy in a way as well, or just don't really give you anything that you need to help you move forward to meet your goals this year. So got the 10 of Cups here for your overall lesson. So yeah, you're learning how to remain optimistic, be optimistic, feed your soul, prioritize, make priorities around love and family in some way. I think there'll be a lot of happy times. I think you're going to be developing in your own emotional growth. Again, family factors in heavily here. So maybe that you might find a lot of nourishment from your family, and maybe your friends. Maybe you do get more selective about your friends and really work on the friendships and partnerships that do bring you in that sense of abundance and happiness. But a lot of sharing and caring will be going on this year, and I think important friendships and bonds will be formed. So it's interesting because Capricorn got a similar kind of reading, and Jupiter is in Capricorn soon. So yeah, a lot of happiness, learning the art of happiness. Maybe the art of happiness is accepting what you can't change and knowing what you can. That is serenity. Again, the serenity prayer, I think, is important. An important kind of omen and reference for you for this year. And then we've got I've already mentioned the star card here, maybe in the past having very grand ideas that maybe you're paring back now to what's actually necessary. And what you'll focus on here this year is the Eight of Swords. Seeing what you're afraid to see. Okay, so there may be some mental kind of restrictions that you're putting on yourself. So I think your focus this year is, again, having the power to see what you can and can't influence, change, where you can and can't go. Because this card again talks about someone maybe feeling not empowered, not able to move forward. feeling like no matter what they do, it's going to go wrong. So again, this could be a challenge for you to remain optimistic this year, even with all of these restrictions. That not to think that because there are some restrictions, it means that's it. I should just stay here. You know, you may find that certain paths that are available to you are hard or come with some sort of pain, or not any like terrible pain, but maybe, for instance, you could really hate talking in front of a whole bunch of people, and one of your main goals is to do XYZ, which requires you to speak in front of a bunch of people, and it's like that's painful because you really don't want to do it. But it's like if you don't do it, you don't get what you want, and if you do it, then you risk, you know, maybe embarrassing yourself, forgetting your words or whatever. But the Eight of Swords is always recommended here to step forward, because if you don't, you just end up staying where you are, and ultimately you want to progress. So you have to understand as well with Eight of Swords that anything that is, you know, thwarting your confidence to move forward is a lot in your head. It's a lot to do with what's in your head and how you're perceiving things. It may be that you're worrying a lot about what could go wrong, that you don't feel as lucky, that you're having to rely solely on your work, your output, your input, that total reliance maybe on yourself, with the kind of harshness of Saturn. But Saturn is like the grandmother, she's like the old witch, or the what do they call it? You've got the crone, yeah. So she's like tough love, but she always has love though. She always wants you to be happy, but she doesn't want to see you be a fool or live your life halfway. She's thinks you can do the best, so she's going to put you to the test. She's going to push you there. So yeah, Saturn will bring these challenges to you because it knows that you can do it. So do it, and don't be too much in your head about it. And that may be a big focus for you this year, to see, where you hold yourself back and why. Where are your insecurities in terms of maybe speaking up, speaking your truth, maybe making decisions. Where are your hang-ups when it comes to these things? What are your kind of repeating and repetitive thoughts as well? Because this can also talk about rumination, having the same kind of or pathology, around a certain area of your life. And then, like I said, what you can expect is this Four of Coins. You can expect this Saturn energy maybe around your finances, or around it could be as well that in the past you made good money. So we've got the Saturn energy here as well. Yeah, it could be like last year was a very good year, likelihood that it was, and you're now being asked to not splurge so much, to invest a bit more, to rein it in when it comes to your finances. Yeah, this is the card of Saturn here. So, and it's one of the first 3 cards at the base of the deck. I have the Seven of Wands as well, which talks about being determined, standing up for whatever it is that you believe in, getting everyone else's thoughts and doubts and all the naysayers out of the way, and clearing your own path. Making room for yourself, in this big old world of ours. So again, there's something to do with integrity here as well. That's quite important this year. And not giving up, basically. You will have challenges this year. You're going to have maybe people saying you can't do it, or it might not be people. It could be yourself telling you these things. It's also be other people, and it could be you kind of having this repetitive thought that, oh, I can't do this, or limiting beliefs about yourself. Okay. And about maybe even your self-worth here, maybe as well. So, yeah, the Ace of Cups is good to see the overall advice, and the Ten of Cups is also saying that, you know, your lesson is about self-love. Your lesson is about love. It is about compassion. It's about, you know, looking, okay, you know, if you would forgive your brother or your mother 1,000 times, why couldn't you forgive yourself that much? Or if you could, you know, how you deal with your family and the love that you have within your family, or maybe your friends, how well you treat them should be how well you treat yourself too. And you should also expect to be treated as good as you treat others as well. So I think you're going to find your friends and family, maybe even your partner, you know, your children, they're all going to be nourishing to you this year. And I think you're going to appreciate them a lot more towards the end of the year as well. But that's where you're going to find your strength as well. And you will definitely be falling in love with yourself this year, if not finding someone brand new that you fall in love with. But there'll be a lot of peace. I feel a lot of healing for you as well. New beginnings in love. And I think you yourself will be in a more mature kind of, I see you growing as a person as well. Especially with the World card here. Overcoming things, learning lessons that change you maybe forever. And maybe even make you feel reborn in some way this year. But yeah, you may feel like you don't want to put yourself out there for some reason with the Four of Coins. You may want to kind of just keep your family circle that you've got. You're just going to keep that. You're not like no new friends kind of energy is happening here, like no new friends. So I think it's a more of a focus on yourself and on specific things this year. You see yourself as a Queen of Swords. You see yourself as someone who's cutting things out. You're being quite ruthless in terms of what stays and what goes. So yeah, that's definitely happening here for you. And also learning more about your mental state here, becoming the master of your mind as well in some way as well. Being able to control your thoughts maybe to an extent, make yourself do what it is that you want to do, not to get stuck in ruts, to be able to break yourself out of ruts, you know, shake things off. So I feel like mentally you're growing big time this year, and you're becoming the master of that as well. Master of your thoughts. Also recognizing that your thoughts play in a lot to what you say and how you feel, even physiologically, not even just emotionally. Like literally your thoughts affect how you feel. Your thoughts affect your behaviors. I think you're also recognizing that the way that you think also aids in your success, and you're recognizing the power of your mind as well. So I feel like there's actually breakthroughs here with the Eight of Swords, especially with the Ace of Cups as the outcome. Oh, and we've got the Magician card as well. I think I mentioned something about the Magician earlier. Oh, that's talking about, was that you? Oh yeah, Alchemy, the Magician. Yeah, so that is your overall kind of lesson or outcome here, is that you're learning how to kind of use the alchemist kind of approach in terms of making lemonade out of lemons, or with the Serenity Prayer, seeing what can and can't be changed, and then using that all, going with the flow. And actually, one of the, I think, the magician's like codes is to always go with the flow. don't go against the flow. If you want to, do something convincing, or always go with the flow or something. So it's all about going with the flow, using the energies that are around, making the best out of the situation, being optimistic as well, which isn't usually a challenge for our lovely Sagittarians, but once every 12 years, Jupiter does go into Capricorn, and you get to experience what other Capricorns or other earth signs maybe experience all the time, or more often than you would. But it's only for a year. You've got Saturn kind of playing this large role in your life. After that, you don't have to worry about it again for another 12 years, so it's okay. Only this year, maybe it's a bit of hard work and pulling back. And so then we've got the Ace of Pentacles in your environment. So new starts, practical new starts, new money coming in, new jobs, new ways to make money. Yeah, that's definitely happening here. So you've got the potential here to make more money for yourself as you kind of buckle down and focus your mind and your actions towards specific goals. I think there'll be an opportunity for abundance here. This new job or new income stream. I think you're going to feel more rooted as well. Again, I think the people that are in your life are going to be with you, I think, for a long time. Like you're choosing people that are going to be beneficial to you down the road. Yeah. And your hopes and fears, we've got the Three of Coins. So you could be fearing that people may not cooperate and you won't be able to get things off the ground, that you won't have others to work with, that you'll be on your own. Or you could be hoping that you are able to collaborate, that you are able to work with others, that you're able to be creative as well. There may be some sort of idea that you're trying to get other people to kind of get on board with, and maybe your ideas are grand or unusual. And maybe you want people to be able to see your vision. You could be concerned about a project this year. That could be maybe what you worry about the most, is some sort of project, working with others. Again, this may be fear of new people. Maybe you kind of want to keep your circles very small. Could be fearing the kind of work that's coming to you. Maybe you feel like you can't. Maybe there's this fear of having to pare things back, having to kind of be grounded, and maybe you're concerned about kind of bringing your more grand ideas into practical reality as well. That could be a challenge for you in a way as well. So again, maybe you're still carrying a bit of these energies of, and it's always going to be part of you, Sag, to always have a grand idea, or to think big, and to go big, or go home, to go hard, go home, reach for the stars, get to the moon, preferably to the stars still, with Sag. So there could be a bit of like having some sort of wanting people to get your vision, not being sure that people will kind of be on the same page, and also a bit concerned that you won't be able to make it a reality, to see your dreams materialize. So you could be hoping that they do, and it may require the work of others as well. You may need to get other people to help you here, Sag, as well. Could be an earth sign person as well, that'd be more likely to help you. Maybe a Taurus or a Virgo, or even a Capricorn. Because Jupiter is in Capricorn, and this is actually Mars in Capricorn here. So you may find challenges because of this Capricorn transit that Jupiter is going through, but also you may find a lot of luck and help with Capricorn's earth signs. You know, if you ask someone, they say, oh yeah, my Jupiter's in Capricorn, or they say, oh, my moon's in Capricorn, just in passing or talking, you may find that person actually could be someone that could maybe show you something, teach you something, even if you don't explicitly say what it is that you're trying to figure out and you think they can help you with. You may just see by their own actions or how their own approach, how you can maybe adopt some of those ideas or approaches as well. So yeah, there's an opportunity here, and I think it could be with an earth sign as well. That's where your luck could come in as well. So yeah, Ace of Cups, new love, expansion of the heart space, the heart chakra. You'll be feeling more compassionate this year. Spirit is saying to be compassionate with yourself and others. Approach things with a, you've got 2 aces here as well, by the way, so that's lovely. But to approach things with compassion, love, and forgiveness, to regularly kind of take care of yourself and love yourself as well. But yeah, there's grand new beginnings here in love and money for you this year. And that makes sense because Jupiter will be in Capricorn, and that is your 2nd house, and that's to do with love and money. You know, your self-worth and what you love to do, or relationships, desires, and money. So those, you're going to have brand new starts in those areas. So those will be your main focus. It's relationships, your desires, whatever you feel to be a luxury, food, family. That's where there will be renewals and a lot of peace. And also to do with your self-worth, your own skills, putting yourself forward. Again, food, how you look after yourself. There'll be renewals, like how you exercise, and also the skills that you bring into the world that make you money. Those areas there'll be renewals most likely in those areas, of potential for renewal in those areas. Okay, and that makes sense because Capricorn will be in your 2nd house. This is more for probably a Sagittarius rising, but either way probably still applies if you have a Sagittarius sun or even moon there possibly. So then we've got the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Magician card as the overall outcome. So yeah, this is this Capricorn energy again, slowing down, paying attention to details. The Page of Cups talks about maybe like friendships and camaraderie, being flirtatious, being a bit more playful. So you may need to kind of like have a certain amount of playfulness this year, trying not to be too serious. Capricorn will come in and slow things down for you, but just remember to have fun, to be lighthearted about things, to not become too overly serious about things as things slow down. That will be like some good advice for you. When things maybe feel too heavy, go out and have fun with your friends, go and have fun with your boyfriend, girlfriend, family. Yeah, children even, maybe there could be a birth here as well. Someone could be having a baby. Yeah, that could definitely be the case for you here. And you may find yourself becoming a lot more strict about your life goals and things like that. And the Magician card here again says you have the ability to turn water into wine. Sorry, that can help us say that, but yeah, that could be the case for someone. Maybe someone's really good at really turning some basic things into something very magical. But ultimately, you can make lemonade out of lemons. Whatever your situation is, it's within your power. And this is what Saturn teaches you. It's like, okay, so what are you bringing? Like, what are you bringing? Saturn's like, okay, so let's show me who you are then. He's that person that puts you on the spot. It's okay, you know, in the Dragon's Den, or in, you know, those shows where people come and bring their ideas, and they speak in front of these millionaires or billionaires about their ideas they want to put on the market. I forgot what they call it. I think Trump did a show like that called The Apprentice or something. And yeah, Saturn's like, okay, so he's like those people on the boardroom table. That's like, okay, so show us what you got. Show me. You know, I'm gonna give you a very honest opinion of how I think it can work in the world. You know, and that's Saturn. So yeah, and the Magician card is like, okay, yeah, this is what I've got. This is what I can do. You know. So yeah, I feel that you'll be learning how to make the most of things, and just knowing your own skills and abilities. There'll be a lot of renewal there as well, and a lot of growth there for you. But there may be, with the Knight of Pentacles here, you may be asked to be patient to an extent as well. There's also be an Aquarius in your life that maybe you're leaving behind for some of you Sagittarians. But there is a need to be patient here. Okay. So I've got here the here and now, time to go. So yeah, yeah, the here and now might be pointing more towards the Knight of Pentacles, where it's asked, and even the Eight of Pentacles, where it's asking you to get involved with what, you know, to get engrossed in what's happening around you right now, rather than worrying about how long it's taking, or worrying about, am I ever going to get there? Am I ever going to succeed? It's like, okay, now just focus on today's tasks and be thankful for your ability to complete those things, and know that all you ever have is now. You know, you don't ever have yesterday or even 5 seconds ago, or, you know, and you still don't have the future either. But what you always have is now. And again, it's that Magician energy, knowing what you have the ability to take control of, and what you have the, you know, where your limitations are. Focusing on the here and now will greatly help you, I think, do what's being asked of you here in this reading. So Clean It Up talks about, yeah, definitely, this again talks about, this looks like a Capricorn image to me. You know, there's a horned animal on the top of some sort of mountain, you know, quite victoriously waving his duster. So yeah, there's a certain amount of pride here. I think like I said, you've experienced a lot, you've achieved a lot, you've learned a lot of lessons in the last year. And I think that now it's kind of made you a bit more discerning, and you're now cleaning out a lot of things that you no longer need, or that are serving you. You've then got flexible, so to remain flexible throughout all of this, not to get too rigid. Again, that could be the Page of Cups. Learn to, I mean, even though it's saying being flexible now, it must take a lot of discipline to be able to do this pose that she's doing here, some sort of yoga pose, I think, or gymnastic type of pose. That, you know, although she is very flexible, it's through the hard work and determination that's even given her more flexibility, more room to maneuver. And that's how it is with Saturn's lessons, that the more you actually, it asks you to master something. So as you master whatever it is that you're focused on this year, you actually have more freedom then, right? Because if you become the master of, say, dentistry, then you then are able to open up your own practice possibly, or demand a higher wage, or be more selective about where you work, which then gives you a bit more room to maneuver. So it's in that hard work that actually brings in flexibility. So there's that lesson as well to be learned, but also just to remain flexible as you do find hard things, to see, okay, so I can't move this way, but I can move this way, you know. So again, seeing where there is room to move. And then we've got blessed here. I feel like your unions will be blessed. Your friendships, your relationships will probably be quite blessed this year. There may even be a blessed union here, especially with the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups. It's looking like there probably will be a meaningful relationship that enters into your life this year, and you are to count it as a blessing. Okay, again, this Ten of Cups energy. I think that you'll be drawing a lot of energy from here and learning just how valuable love and family are to your well-being and your goals. And then we've got time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. Time to walk through that these new 2 doors that have been opened up to you. I think by these aces as well. Yeah, and also it's about not looking back and stepping forward. It's time to move forward in some area of your life. You have to accept where things have ended and, you know, move forward. But let's read number 45 and actually see what the book says about time to go. So it says here, endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. So this could be about your experiences the past year with the people that you've met and opportunities that were given to you. You may now be realizing, okay, so whereas I can't learn anything more here with these people, I've learned what I need to learn. You know, I've got the experiences that I need to give me all the answers that I'm looking for, so I don't really need you anymore in my life, as harsh as that may sound. With the Queen of Swords here, you're still cutting things out, cleaning things up, regardless. So it says here, you are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. The protection message reads, even if it appears that you've reached the end of the line and all is lost, it isn't. You're in a situation that will resurface again later, so consider this a break rather than an ending. Destiny is in charge here. You lose nothing and gain everything when you surrender to that fact. Your soul knows that your destiny is unfolding with perfect timing and synchronicity. Your small self has doubts, but that is natural. It doesn't have the map of your destiny. The soul does. Spirit loves you, so trust that. So that could also be talking to this 3 of coins here as well, that just because a certain energy has left you doesn't mean that these goals are still not attainable. We just might have to do them a different way and know that all is not lost. Again, you know, Jupiter will be in Aquarius in a year's time. Everything will come back. Just for this year, I think it might be a bit very grounded. Let's just put it that way this year, okay? So hope you enjoyed the reading. I love you so much. Thank you for sticking with me throughout 2019, for those of you that have been following me for that long. And or even before, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. I should do some giveaways or something soon. So yeah, hopefully I'll be doing that, maybe some free readings or things, something like that. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I love you. Have a fantastic year. Take care. And bye-bye.